Back to the Over Shoulder Podcast, episode 37. And this week we are ranking the WWF/WWE Tag Team Championships all the way from the classic Bulldog tags to the current Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Once again, like every single episode, I'm here with my co-host, Rob Figsing Staniloff. And Rob, go ahead and introduce our amazing co-host.
I'm telling you, Max, I'm very, very excited about this episode, not just because we're ranking the tags, but who we have joining us for this episode. He is making he's making his debut on the Over the Shoulder podcast, Belt Axe Anonymous Hall of Famer. You will definitely see him on YouTube. Amazing belt reviews. I mean, the man really needs no introduction here, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Santiago. Santiago, how are you, Chris? Say hello to all the fans.
Gentlemen, it's first things first. Thank you for having me on the show. And secondly, it's nice to actually meet you guys. Like, albeit it's over video call, but it's just really nice to be able to put faces to names and to be able to see you guys and actually have conversations. So I'm really excited to be a part of the show. I've been a big fan of yours, both yours, for a while, and ever since Max, especially since you started dropping this podcast for Over the Shoulder. It's really good, really informative, and just it's a lot of fun for our very small little world that we're all a part of, and just very honored and thankful to be here. So thank you, gentlemen, for having me on the show today.
Oh, and we're absolutely honored to have you, bro. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I was just speaking to Max before you actually joined on, and he was saying that your belt videos have been an inspiration to him, and they've also been an inspiration to me as well. I got to tell you, I've been watching your videos for quite some time. Amazing videos, man. And the way that you take the pictures of your belts with the city backdrop where you are, it's like
the Santiago pose.
Yeah, it's magnifique. It absolutely is. Two belt brothers here, Max and I, are from Calgary, Canada. I mean, you know, what do we get here? We get beautiful snow. In the winter, we got Bret Hart. But you know what? Absolutely honored to have you, bro, on here. So thank you for coming.
No, the words mean the absolute world to me. I put it in my post earlier this week when I hit 1,000 subscribers that, I started off this whole entire thing, really, my channel in particular, during quarantine. It was kind of a thing where it's like just I needed an outlet. I'm a video producer and editor and content creator as a profession. And I also do it to kind of get away from life. So, you work for a living for video editing, and then you go do it on your spare time, make it make sense. And I wanted to get myself a present for me getting my master's degree right before COVID hit. And so I got myself the classic Intercontinental Championship off a shop. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what, man, just screw it. I'm going to go and just record myself unboxing this thing. I've been watching Hazard F5, Steven Hammer, a bunch of the OGs. Doing it, even going as far back as current Impact superstar Chris Bay, and just that rings a bell, right? And just just seeing them, watching their thing, and I've been doing YouTube kind of a little bit. I was doing like lifestyle vlogs and like food vlogs and those kind of things, and I'd always been a big wrestling buff. I do ring announcing on the side here, usually over here in South Florida, and I was just like, I just gotta. I just got to capitalize on something here. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do something different for myself anyway. So I said, screw it. I'm going to do an unboxing video for a belt, and did that. And just not to go off too much in a tangent, so we can keep on going on with the episode here. But, just fast forward about just about actually 2 years later, almost to the day. Well, actually to the day. Yeah. The 2-year anniversary for belt videos was about like maybe 2 weeks ago. And just doing that was, being able to hit 1,000 subscribers, just basically just kind of turning your passion, something that you're really, really into, like something that you love, into, a good hobby. And then, I get to meet awesome people like you, like you two, Rob and Max, definitely, again, like Steven Hammer, John Badair, who is also known as Kinshasa Wrestling, Dropkick Leather, Brian Jordan, just a bunch of terrific individuals. Really, also, if I can, just gonna give my boy Mike Gambino a quick shout out for his Champions Ring T-shirt. Get on TeePublic. Just got to give him that little plug. But just meeting you guys, meeting a bunch of all you people, it's been very humbling. So to hear you guys give me such high praise, that definitely means the world to me. And I just gotta say thank you both to you gentlemen, because I'm definitely jealous of your collections individually. So, hopefully one day I'll be able to have that type of background like Rob has. But I'm getting there.
No, it's all good. And just know, Chris, that you have fans international, and that's the big thing. Your fans even stem all the way through international. Like I said, Max and I are very humbled to have you. We're huge fans of yours. Very excited about this. Max, what do you think, though? Do you want to dive right into this bad boy?
Of course, I've been waiting to do this all week. So let's just start off with the classic, the silver tags. What do you guys think about it, Rob? I'll let you go first, and then I'll see what you say, and then I'll give my true opinion after.
So silver, I mean, with the version of this belt, I got my take on it. The side plates look weird to me on this one. They absolutely do. I mean, of course, the cut is going to be the same across the board here with respect to these classic belts. The silver, though, it doesn't really do much for me. I'm more of the gold. I like dual plated, but silver. Not with this. Even though there is history with respect to this belt, there definitely is history, and I know I'm going to get knocked for this, but history with the belt, I can't knock that. With respect to the design and the plates, we've looked at them before, Max, and I know we've commented on the plates we have, but again, I mean, I can't comment on the cut of the leather because cut of the leather is pretty much the same across the board. But anyways, kind of. So I don't know, Max. What do you think of it?
I'm gonna be honest. I hate the leather cut. Listen, I know it's not a huge difference, but I'm like super into like the little changes in leather. The leather cut looks so weird. It's like a triangle, because of the size of the side plates and the shape. It just seems so odd going from that huge main plate to the small square and like the divot. It's like a triangle. I hate that. That's that empty space in between with the leather. I don't like that at all. And the sharp square side plates, not for me. I love silver belts, so don't get me wrong. The NWA television title, I love silver plates. This one though, love the main plate, hate the side plates, hate the leather cut. What do you think, Chris?
Pretty much the same. I really feel like that era they were trying to find themselves in terms of, jumping from, the old school. I mean, back then, what they considered old school, you got the designs of like the Backland WWF championship, and you had the NWA really coming in with their, more, beloved designs. WWF at the time, WWF right before they were transitioning to that was really kind of a weird era. And kind of things, where they're looking for characters and everything with terms of the product, and the belts were no different. Everyone knows the beloved Big Green. So, it kind of, roughly around the same time. And, for me, I'm glad that they kept the shape of the main plate basically the same for what we're going to talk about next for the next era of tags. But just, again, silver is very hit or miss. It's really difficult to make it work, and to kind of go off of what you were saying, Max, about the side plates. Really, it's kind of a little off-putting because there's so much black in the side plates as well that it feels like it's kind of like as if someone just said black. There you go. We're gonna make some contrast in there, and like for what it was at the time, I'm sure it was beautiful. Obviously, looking at what we have, gotten over the last couple or triple decades, it's been obviously classics aren't always the best, but that one it's decent for what it is. I'd probably give it an easy 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like it that much. I mean, I'm gonna hate it on this. The classic design of the WWF tag team titles, they're okay for me. I mean, I have no memories of it. That's the thing. Like, I'm only 19, so I have zero
Gee, thanks for aging me, Max.
I have zero
I turned 30 this year, and I'm freaking out.
I'm double his age.
I have no memory of the history behind it. So I'm sure someone who watched this back in the day, they're like, oh, I love that belt because I remember seeing this tag team winning or this tag team. Me, just design wise, not it for me. I would rank it probably a 3. What do you guys think, Rob? Where'd you rank it?
Yeah, I mean, you're giving it.
I mean, I don't want to disrespect too much.
You're being generous with that, though. Honestly, my take, I think you're being a little generous,
Max. I mean, I would have given it maybe like a high 4, low 3. I mean,
we can put it in lower 3 later.
I guess no, right? You can't knock history, though. I'm comfortable going with 3.
Chris,
but I mean, we can rearrange them after.
I personally say 4, only because I see the list of other ones that we're looking at here, and those definitely kind of rank up a little higher. But for all intents and purposes, we could definitely put it at 3, and then like Rob said, if we decide to kind of shift it up a little bit later, then we could definitely do that
for sure.
Yeah.
So let's put it in 3 for now, and probably go to lower 3. Let's move on to the dual plated tag. So this is a huge improvement in my opinion. to me, the shape of the side plate's way better, fits the main plate. The main plate's it's a huge shape, so I think it's very hard to match the side plates with the main plate. But I think they did a decent job with this. Definitely an improvement. I love dual plated. I talked about it several times. We're almost at 40 episodes. I've gone on and on and on how I love dual plated on every belt. So I obviously love this version the most. I respect the gold one, but for me, dual plated all day. Rob, what do you think?
Well, with respect to the dual plated, I know, Max, you get a flipping hard on with respect to dual plated. There's no doubt. I'll put hard on it, and yeehaw, here it goes. But with respect to this belt, let's talk about the different version with respect to figs in the shop. If we're talking about the figs, it's a way better belt just because the size of that main plate, and it actually is nice and proportionate to the rest of the belt. Hence, I have it over here. The WWF Classic Tag 2012 Figs Inc. It's definitely a rarity. But let's talk about the shop belt. That main plate's too small. There's too much leather, I find, on it. The Legends logo seems off-kiltered, and the eagle seems weird. I definitely think that they really missed the bar on that one. I don't like that belt. I probably would think maybe... actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to say that. I was going to actually say that United Belt Brothers could probably put out something better.
That's too far. That's too far.
Let's not get that far. You know what?
Okay, I'm gonna need some context on that whole United Brothers thing because that's the second time you've referenced it in kind of like a negatory way. I want to know the context behind that at some point today.
I fucking hate them.
Go ahead.
United Belt Brothers. I mean, you know how to get me riled up. I mean, you absolutely do. You post shit on your Facebook page. You post shit on everybody else's Facebook page. You think that you're God's gift to the fucking hobby when you're actually a piece of shit low life that doesn't know how to make belts. Why don't you actually learn how to actually make belts? And maybe your customer service will be a little bit better. You fucking blow. You fucking blow, and you're a disgrace. Everything. But anyways, now
Pandora's box.
For everyone who's watching, that I think we haven't explained United Belt Brothers. For whoever doesn't know, or Chris, let me try and explain it more with facts, not so emotionally. They are a very low-end maker. Okay, and they spam post everyone. If you ever look at someone and someone posts looking for this belt, to say we can make it, bro, we'll do it for you. I saw some guy asking for a replica, like a stock strap for Fake Zinc belt, and they said PM me, bro. What the hell is United Belt Brothers gonna do? It just doesn't make sense. And they have a lot of people that I'm not sure if they work for them or they get discounts for them that live in the United States or Canada or wherever. And they just message people and constantly just like kind of harass to get people to buy from United Belt Brothers. And they talk about how the quality is the best. And if you look at the pictures,
they're not.
Pretty horrendous. So that's the reason for the hate. So Rob, go ahead and talk about the belt though.
No, and before I do, somebody asked for an Under 87 figs, and United Belt Brothers thought that they can go over the figs. But anyways, that's good luck with that. Now, so sorry. The belt with respect to this, I'm with you, Max. I love the dual plated. But if we're talking about the specific version between the figs and the shop belt, the figs is going to win on this one. It absolutely is. I don't think the shop really did a really good job on it. With respect to where the belt came from, I'm definitely going to rank it probably decently. I already know where I am. I do like the belt. I find it's rare to find the WWF figs. I have it. Absolutely beautiful belt. One thing we can say about these belts, dual plated, they like to tarnish sometimes. I mean, that's a big thing. Tarnish is a big thing. But it's a great belt. It absolutely is. Chris, what do you think of the belt?
Oh, absolute classic. Like you said, with all respect to both Figs and Shop, I feel like any collector who's a fan of that is going to be absolutely thrilled no matter what when they unbox that baby. And, there's so much lineage to that belt. I mean, you got Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, to start off with, those guys, I mean, I'm a 90s baby, but, I've definitely watched a lot of WWE, WWF documents that reference the tag division back then, and just it was star-studded. So that belt is very representative of that Hall of Fame lineage the Hall of Fame class that is that tag team division during the time. And I just feel like the design reflects it perfectly. You have the dual plating that that really kind of makes it that much more like royal, and it kind of makes it look that much more, prestigious really than if it was just straight gold. I mean, eventually it became straight gold and it looks fantastic no matter what. But for during that time when everything was so much more about larger than life, like that tag belt kind of looks like this belongs over the shoulders of like some legends, and it really did. So for me personally, if I'm going to rank that, I'm putting that at a number 2 solid, just because of the history behind it, and also because of the design influence that it gave upon to the rest of the tag belts.
100% agree. I would rank it at 2.
Yeah, I think we got to put it straight into 2 because I think it's just a huge improvement from the silver ones, and yeah, completely. Let's move on to the gold though. I don't like this one as much as the dual plated, but it is a similar, basically the same design, just gold. It does look nice though. I'll give it that. Most belts I prefer the dual plated. I do see why people prefer the gold version. It looks more uniform and looks more, I guess, simple, you could say. I do like it. I still like it. I would probably rank close to a 2 also. But then we can rearrange it later. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. I mean, the gold is not that bad either. It really, really isn't. You're right. I like the uniformity of it. Uniform, it's a big thing. Consistency. I know that when we were talking about it, and I know that this belt's not unrelated, but when we were talking about the Undisputed V2 and we were talking about the shade of the actual gold, and it looked like a freaking eyes and the schnoz and then the smiley face, that looked weird. But anyways, at least you have uniform going all the way down the belt. That's exactly it. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Max. It's still a really good version. Chris, what do you think?
Just kind of what I was saying before, the whole dual play nature of the previous belt made it look that much more prestigious. The all gold. I get it. Everyone, you hear commentators all the time whenever they're talking about during a title match. They always reference about, they're going for the gold, they're going for this, they're going for something along the lines of them using the term gold. And, that's why even when you use like silver belts, they kind of still call it like the gold. And it's like, is it really though? Yeah. So, I mean, but you're not going to say, oh, they're going for the silver. Like that kind of knocks it down a peg. Yeah, so you want to, so you want to keep it, like Rob said, consistency. And I mean, I get it. Me personally, I like it just as much as the original, just because of just the classic design of it. It's still, for a great era of tag team wrestling. So I still rank it up right there about like 2, maybe 3 lowest if we have to. But if you're asking me, I'm definitely put it about a 2.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And I no problem.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that gold thing. I think if some other belts like mid-card titles, which we'll get into later, and other belts can be silver, but I think if it's going to be the top of a division like the Tag Team Championship, the World Championship, the Women's Championship, it should be either all gold or dual-plated. I mean, it should have some gold, because you think about gold, I mean, the Olympics, gold, first place, silver, second place, bronze, third place. We'll talk about the penny tag later, but that's why I think the top of the division should be at least some gold. But yeah, I completely agree with that. Let's move on to the Attitude Era version. You guys know how I feel about the scratch logo. I don't like it at all. I prefer.
I didn't know that. Logo. Really, I didn't know that.
I prefer the block logo a hell of a lot more. Some would say I don't. I hate the scratch logo. To me, it just looks so off in so many belts. We talked about it in the Big Eagle episode. I just think it looks horrendous on the Big Eagle. But this one, I just don't like it. Especially when it's a white logo. I don't like that at all. It looks like some kid just drew it on there with a Crayola. I think it should be at least all gold, like the Big Eagle was the all gold version. That one's okay. I just don't like it. It stands out. It doesn't fit nicely into the box. You see a bunch of black paint going around it. I don't like it. I'd rank this probably 3, to be honest. Just that logo, I hate it, especially on the side plates. It looks so tiny and skinny with that big blob of black paint going around it. Looks horrible, in my opinion. Rob, what do you think?
I'm probably going to get knocked on for this, but a bunch of our Belt Addicts Anonymous admin team loves the Attitude Era. I mean, yeah. Fine. I've got all the belts in the Attitude Era 2001 line, but with respect to this belt, is it my favorite? No, it's not my favorite. Why do I have it? Because I had to. It's rare. It's become more rare. It's a WWF 2001 Figs Inc. Now let's talk about the shop one for a sec. The shop one actually put out a decent belt. They actually really did. Just recently, Casey, KL Fan 93, did an unboxing. He showed all the particulars of it, even the swoosh on the logo they got right.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Max. It's not my favorite. Let's comment about the side plates. It looks like a freaking kid just pasted them on. That the logo is bigger than the actual side plate. I mean, seriously. It looks bad. You're being very generous, though, Max. I'm
giving it a 3. If I could choose, I'd give it a 5. But I'm just being respectful. I know Casey's watching, so and I know how close he holds it to his heart.
Again, but I don't care what Casey thinks. I'll rank it at a 4.
You're right. I'm gonna give it a 4. I was being too nice. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's a Sunday. I'm being too nice. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to play devil's advocate because I actually like those belts a lot. I like the design. It was a great edgy twist on the classic. They kept the classic shape for the most part, but they just completely, like you said, it looks like a kid just slapped on whatever he wanted on it, basically. Yeah. And that was exactly kind of what the Attitude Era was at the time. When you think about it, it was just rough. It was, hey, if you have an idea, we're going to throw it at the wall, see what sticks. And they did whatever the hell they wanted to do during that time. So why not have the belts look almost kind of like the same way in a way? I'm pretty sure that's not what they were thinking when they designed these belts, but it's a good representation of what it was. So I mean, because I look at that belt, I obviously think of Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys, APA, basically, all the greats during that time. And, I mean, and they kept that design for a while. I think they kept it for a good,
I think
like
5-6
years. They had the design, and just, I don't know, like, I love watching back, like WrestleMania 17 and seeing the ladder match for it. It's just, like that belt to me is more than, it could it be better? Absolutely. I mean, my favorites are coming up next, but that's just because I'm a personal, right. I'm a ruthless aggression guy at heart. So what's up, Rob?
No, but I mean, like, with respect to the side plates, though, Chris, I mean, yeah, you've got like that little, like, you've got the side plate, but then it's a blob. It's like a freaking, like, I don't know. It's like something.
I can't argue the history. You're completely right. The history behind this belt is amazing. But aesthetically, though, let's try and set aside the history. Think aesthetically, is it the best version of the classic tags?
No, to me, no, not by any means. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll probably if we're going with aesthetic alone, which I'm sure we probably are, but I'm just a wrestling lover at heart, so I try to associate everything with things, and I explain that in my videos where, like, the reason why I have the belts I have is because they hold something near and dear to me, like a memory or something happened during that time when I remember it, so. If we're going off aesthetic alone, I'll drop a 3 for that one. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So, probably right there in the middle sounds good to me.
You guys are so nice. Unreal.
I was saying like 4. I don't know. Rob, what do you think?
I was thinking.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, like you told me at the beginning you were going to be all, did we lose him?
I think so. Rob,
no, he's there. No, he's there. Rob's there.
Rob, sorry, what did you cut off before you said your ranking?
Sorry, no, I would go 4. I would go 4
too. Yeah.
Rob, I thought you were being unapologetic tonight, man. Please go ahead and hit us with the 5.
5.
Hey, hit us the 5.
Well, and I mean, a shout out, of course. I mean, I am going to shout out them later, but Pounding the Meat definitely says it best. I mean, I'm a nice guy, but I'll say it exactly like it is. I mean, J Cross, you know that I do that, man. So now, I mean, I would go 4. If you want to put it at a 3, Max, put it at a 3.
Respectfully, Chris, majority wins. We got to put it in a 4. Respectfully, I'll put it high 4 though. High 4.
High 4. Okay, we'll give it like a 4.1. It's not gonna be a 2.2 or 3 or 4. It's gonna be a 4.1.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the Ruthless Aggression. I've been waiting to talk about this belt. I love this Raw Ruthless Aggression. It is my favorite, one of my favorite versions. We'll talk about my favorite. One of my favorite versions. For sure, my favorite version of the WWE Tag Team Championships. The Raw. I prefer the Raw 100%. I love it. I love the shape. I love the color. I love the era of Ruthless Aggression. And I know it's talked about more, but everyone talks about the Attitude Era, Let's talk about the Ruthless Aggression era. That is what I love watching. Looking back and watching technical Kurt Angle. That is the peak, in my opinion, the peak of wrestling. I mean, I love it. And that represents, it's a perfect mash of prestige and a bit of attitude with a scratch logo, but it's a WWE, which in my opinion looks a bit better than the WWF, so it's not lopsided, but whatever. It just looks more like refined, in my opinion, and I love the shape. I love the color. I love this belt. Rob, what do you think?
Okay, so this is actually the belt that I think that the shop actually got right with comparison to the Figs. I mean, humongous thick plates. They actually got it totally right. I do like this belt. I mean, before the shop put it out again, I've got the 2006 Figures Inc. belt. It's a really, really nice belt. Max, you saw that belt when you unboxed.
I fell in love with it when I saw it.
And I know that's when you fell in love with it because you ended up getting the raw tag at that time that was re-leathered. It's definitely a great belt. It absolutely is. I remember being here and being at a Raw event and seeing Chris Benoit and Edge win those belts. They won those belts.
2004. Yeah, 2004. That was right after Chris Benoit won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Exactly, pretty much it. Yep. And I was there. It was a great thing to see. So, I mean, those belts, they hold a lot of history. I think they're really, really good. I think they're designed very, very well. I absolutely do. Is it my favorite version? No, but we'll get to that. Chris, what do you think?
So, this has been my most exciting part because I adore the Ruthless Aggression era, much like Max. To me, that's what got me into WWE mainly was because of the Ruthless Aggression era. I started watching maybe like 2001, 2002. So I was 9, 10 years old at the time. So like I grew up watching the Ruthless Aggression era. So the years to me, the years 2002, 2003 to like 2008 are the best years that WWE has ever had. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be, again, I'll be devil's advocate, but just because Max, you said that this is your favorite out of the two, mine is a SmackDown. We're going to get to that in a bit. Mine's a SmackDown only because I've always been a SmackDown guy. Yeah. And the only reason why I can't decide which one of them two to get from shop is because I don't know if I want the SmackDown one more because it means so much to me, or if I want to get the Raw one because I have so many blue belts. I just want to get something that stands out. Yeah. So
I vote for both. That's
in a perfect world, absolutely yes. No. In a perfect world, yes. Maybe in a trade, I don't know. But as far as the Raw ones go, the World Tag Team Championship, I mean, just so many great memories with that championship belt. I remember when Randy Orton and Edge won a rated RKO. They won that. When the Hardy Boys reunited after Jeff came back from TNA, and they won the championships as well. But just aesthetically, as far as design goes, I think it's great, especially because the main plates, as it juts out and kind of has that little bit of indentation, the side plates meet that. Side plates meet almost like a puzzle piece. And to me, that's what kind of sets it off. It's like, oh my God, just like that symmetry looks so damn good. So I'm just me being me, that's number one. You know what I mean? Like that belt's going that belt's going up there, number one.
Rob, I'm going one, obviously.
I agree. I agree. That belt deserves to be in the one spot. It's a great belt. It absolutely is.
Let's talk about the SmackDown one. Listen, I have respect for this belt. I don't like it though. It reminds me like a lot of the classic tags, which I don't mind, but in my opinion, it looks worse. It looks like a ball sack, the part of the main plate. Someone compared it, and I can't unsee it. I hate the main plate. The shape is weird. I love the colors on it though. The shade of blue is beautiful, and I love the blue behind the logo. Side plates also very reminiscent to the classic tags, just redone. I love the blue on it though, like the leather cut. Not my favorite, not the worst. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I don't see myself really owning this unless I'm going to go for a Ruthless collection, which I might. But yeah, Raw all day for me, just design-wise. What do you think, Rob? I know what you think about this one, but
I know you do. I have 9 tag belts, so I mean, I have a huge tag belt collection. But I am going to disagree with you. I do like this belt better than the Raw. I absolutely do. Now let's talk about the difference though. Figures Inc. and the shop belt, and we've mentioned the differences. I gotta be honest. Obviously, I'm a Figures Inc. guy. You definitely do. There are noticeable differences on that shop belt. The snap box. That's a big one. They decided to go with a 2x8 on the female snaps. I mean, that's one. The logo, they went with a white logo. They didn't go with the black logo. I'm actually looking at my belt right now. I like the Figures Inc. version better. Now, a little side point though. Let's talk about even the top of that one on the shop belt. It looks like a flipping nipple. Do you guys want a nipple on your belt? It looks like a nipple.
I think that's just the design.
That the way that it's cut on the shop belt, on the SmackDown belt. However, I love the history behind this belt. To commemorate the SmackDown 6, I have a Chavo Guerrero nameplate on my deluxe SmackDown tag to commemorate the SmackDown 6. I mean, I love where this belt has been. I know where I'm going to rank it, Max. You're probably not going to agree with me. Too bad the light heavyweight wasn't on here, though, Max. We can talk about that one.
No, I would argue all night for that light heavyweight.
I know that belt. I know that. But I know I do like the SmackDown one better. But I'm like Chris. I'm more of a SmackDown fan. I like blue. Blue's one of my favorite colors. I mean, absolutely. So it's absolutely amazing. Chris, what do you think?
I echo your sentiments, Rob, completely. That belt to me, I mean, you got Los Guerreros holding it. You had the world's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin holding it. And then you even had Charlie Haas and Rico holding it at some points. You know, it just and also Edge and Rey Mysterio, if you remember that. I think they were the champs right after Benoit and Angle won it initially. Just that belt to me, and plus the color blue, the SmackDown set, just the giant fist. I mean, like, just everything about that belt screams to me my childhood, because I always watched Thursday Night SmackDown, always UPN 33 here in South Florida all the time. It was just like, to me, that was my tag team championship design. And I know that, you know, Rob, you're not a big fan, that it kind of was almost a copy and paste of the classic tags, but I feel like that was a good way of bringing it into the more 2000s era, where they go and they kind of modernize it up and they made it a lot more colorful. I mean, the first two side plates, you know, well, I'm sorry, the far outside plates, they have that shade filling of blue right there to kind of help it stand out a bit. It was really awesome. But I will say that I do prefer their original first version when it came out. Rob, you mentioned how it had the black swoosh instead of the white swoosh that came in later. Yes. So the ones that Shop released was definitely the V2 of that design. The V1 I liked a lot better because that shade of blue just hit different. It was just definitely a lot more robust, and it felt more vibrant and lively as comparison to when they did a slight redesign to it. Regardless, I love that championship belt so much, and that's obviously going at my number of all these belts we're talking about. That goes way above. If there was an S tier that we had above number one, I'm putting it there.
I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, and I totally agree. And the thing is, though, let's talk about like the bottom of that nameplate before we move on to the other piece of shit we're about to move on to. I know we're talking about the actual ass cheeks on there, Max. You mentioned, okay. I mean, I love big butts, and I cannot lie. Of course,
that looks like Rikishi's ass.
Okay, and that's when I leave. Gents, thank you so much for having me. Rob, it's been a pleasure. Max, thank you so much. Good night, and have a pleasant evening.
Listen, Rob. We'll argue the number one spot later. Fair. I'm sure that'll be a fun argument, but let's talk about the penny tags. Why the hell is it? Look, the design, I don't mind it. The Spartans, whatever, it's kind of cool. The shit circle, I don't like circular plates usually, but it's not bad. Why the hell is it bronze though? That just does not make any sense to me. We were talking about earlier. Bronze is third place. Why is that your world tag team championship? It was a unified championship too. You go from the Ruthless Aggression, the Raw, the SmackDown, to a penny tag. Like, at least if it was gold or dual plated, I saw someone do a concept of dual plated. It looked pretty badass. It looked pretty cool. But bronze is not hitting. Rob, I'm gonna go immediately in my rankings. That's a 5 for me. Rob, what do you think?
I'm almost with you, bro. And I'll tell you why. And I'll definitely tell you why. So, with respect to this belt, I think it looks cheap. I think it absolutely looks cheap. You put that bronze on the freaking black. I mean, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. And there's a reason why I actually don't have it to actually complete my tag belt collection, is because I hate it. I really do. If I were to find it with the scratch logo, though, not with the network logo, yes, I'd go for it. But I found one and it was tarnished. But anyways, I don't like it. I really don't. I mean, I'm with you, Max. How can you go from what you had down to this piece of shit? I mean, seriously. It's like, you know what? Like, you decided to not go with Classic Shields and you decided to go with United Belt Brothers. I mean, like, give me a break. You know, like, seriously. But anyways, Chris, what do you think of it?
You mentioned something, Rob, right there towards the end. Not United Belt Brothers, but the one before, the statement you made beforehand, where you're saying, how'd you go from this design, this beautiful like design that was like universally loved, to this piece of crap? And I feel like that's the general consensus of most of the belts nowadays. Yeah. So, you know, like what you just said, I was like, man, if you like that statement echoes basically everything that everyone's saying about current belts nowadays. And I mean, I appreciate them for what they are, but if you compare, there's no comparison. So I believe that these designs, I mean, I'm not a giant fan of the meter. The only reason why I like it is because I love Spartans. I love that sort of era.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of 300. I'm a big fan of Spartacus. So seeing those Spartan helmets on there for me, I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's like I never would have guessed they throw on a tag belt. So that was pretty cool. I like the concept of it. Like you guys, I couldn't get over the penny. Like that to me was just like, okay, maybe you guys are just trying something, which I can understand also, where it's like you just want to try something new. And if it doesn't work, then crap, it doesn't work. I mean, it actually they lasted for a while. They lasted for like
That's
6
a
years.
long time. Yeah,
That's for like
it
6
didn't
years.
work, and they just kept going with them.
Yeah, and I mean, just the only thing also that I didn't really like, I'm not a fan usually, with exception to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not a big fan, or actually, well, that one, and also to the NXT North American Championship. I'm not a fan of really thick, like thickly cut strap. I don't like that because it looks just so bulky on someone, and you put that over like a cruiserweight wrestler or someone who's not 240 plus pounds. It looks overbearing.
Yeah.
And I remember when Dropkick Leather, Brian did a strap for it that had like the classic like smaller, like more like normal strap size around it, and I thought it looked perfect. I was like, that's how it should have done. Just that sort of cut, boom, keep it right there. It looks awesome. And, again, just the penny didn't do it for me, but I can respect hey, we tried it, whatever type of vibe. But they kept around for 6 years, so they definitely tried it, and they figured, screw it. So they kept around for a little while longer. So I'm putting it at a 4 just because of the Spartan helmets, but that's literally it.
Rob, I put it at 5. Where are you putting it? 4 or 5?
And I'm going to put it exactly where that piece of shit Fiend belt that we were reviewing last week is going to be. It'll be at a 5. Sorry.
People love that belt. And I don't know why.
Oh my God. How? I don't understand.
I don't like it. Anyway.
Let's move on to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I'm saying it's a huge improvement. I mean, at least second place now. It's not third place anymore. The blue stripe, I think it gave it a lot of life. I think it's the design. I don't mind it. Like I said, I wish it was dual plated or gold. I mean, I saw the concept where it was dual plated, where the Spartans and the plate, like the lettering, was all gold. I think I showed it in a previous episode, we did a tag episode, and it looks so cool. The silver, it's better than the bronze, but it's just not for a tag championship. I'm probably ranking it like a 4, maybe a low 3, but that's just kind of generous in my opinion. What do you think, Rob?
I think it's a vast improvement. Absolutely. This was actually the 5th belt in my collection. Heavy. They are heavier than shit, these belts.
Surprisingly.
The thickness of the plates, I think it's absolutely amazing. I do think it's a great belt. Mine is autographed by the members of the Shield and the New Day. That is a really cool thing to have. Reason why I have the next belt that we'll talk about after is because I had to have the collection. However, these belts are great. I definitely do. And I like the fact that they're affordable on the shop for people, for young belt collectors who are trying to get into the game and they're wondering what should be your first belt, but they don't want to spend a lot of money. You wait for a good sell, and this is definitely a great belt. Heavy, though. I can't imagine me lugging this around at an event. My shoulder would kill. It would absolutely kill me. But I'm with you, Max. I'd rank it at probably a low 3, high 4. It's not stellar, but it is a vast improvement. Chris, what do you think?
So I brought mine out just for the occasion of this one. So I like it so much better in the silver. Just off the bat, I love the plate so much better in the silver. I feel like it just looks better than. You can only get better from Penny, but just this to me, with the silver plates, looks awesome. I did originally get this off of a trade as a Raw Tag Team Championship belt, so I had it in the red, and I thought to myself, oh wow, that's kind of decent. I generally don't like red. Especially if you're making that the main color of a strap. To me, it just throws it way off, with exceptions to the NWA television title. But that's basically, and also the TNA Legends Championship. But that's, aside from that, as far as it goes with that belt, I definitely love the blue that much more. So to me, I'm putting that at a solid 3. Is it the best championship design? No, it's not. But like Rob said, this is a great belt with great detail that shop offers still for a fairly good price. I mean, literally, you can for about $200, you can choose between either this or the freaking 2mm thick plates that's on the United States Championship, the classic one. Well, not classic, but
Piece of shit.
from 2014. As a giant fan of that design, I love that United States Championship design. Again, SmackDown guy, but like I loved that design, and the fact that they still produce it with 2mm thick plates utterly outrages me. That's why I never got one yet, because I'm waiting for them to do a redo version again with the updated plates.
I hope so. I mean, they're doing a lot of ruthless aggression. I hope they bring back the scratch logo, maybe even 5mm plates with the logo plate. That'd be so cool. So I think we can all agree maybe low 3.
I'll go with 3, man.
Okay.
On that belt.
And the Raw, I mean, I think it's the same rankings. I put it a little lower. I do have mine. Now, the only reason I
dropkick, dropkick leather, baby.
The dropkick leather. I mean, I am a huge leather guy, so I had to get that. Secondhand, it is a standout strap, so the screws are exposed, but I don't really care. It is a beautiful leather strap. I think it looks way better with the silver tooling going around, and I love it. I'm a mark for leather, so of course I had to pick it up.
So Brian did that one. Brian Jordan. Did that.
Yeah.
I mean, a huge shout out to you, Brian. I mean, you're an amazing guy.
Dude, Brian, a quick side note. I finally got to meet Brian at WrestleMania. Of all times, like to meet one of your internet friends at WrestleMania is just unheard of. I met him, got to hang out with him and his lovely wife, and just absolutely tremendous people. I mean, like you cannot meet a better guy in this community at all, and he is so kind, so genuine, like unapologetic, but gosh darn it, if he's a supporter of yours, he'll be a ride or die for you. And I support him in his endeavors 100,000,000% for the rest of my life.
And absolutely. And Brian, you are a member of Belt Addicts Anonymous. You are a Hall of Famer in our Hall of Fame. There's a reason why, ladies and gentlemen, that he is an excellent guy, stand-up guy. Go check out Dropkick Leather. There's no doubts about that. Absolutely amazing, gentlemen. No doubt.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So shout out to you. So are we thinking probably 3 also?
I would think 3. Just keep it consistent,
Yeah, and then we'll rearrange it later. Now this next one is not an real belt. It is replica. This is via request of our co-host Rob. This is the New Day tag. I'll let you go first. This is your belt, so go ahead, Rob.
I absolutely love this belt. Like we talk about bronze, okay? We talk about the penny. This actually looks good on it because of that fucking strap. That strap is just killer. And the rarity of these belts is just absolutely incredible. I love mine. It has a pink backing on it. Apparently 483 made, who knows? It's got really, really nice writing on it, to commemorate the New Day. When it was being sold at WrestleMania 33 down in Orlando, there weren't that many. Casey tells me there were 10. There could have been more, but Miss WWE Fan 13 ended up picking up one, and ever since she unboxed that, I had to have it. And that belt was my second belt in my collection. I have 40 belts. So that was number 2. To get that as number 2, and I got it on a Black Friday sale. And I did it with 10 minutes left to spare that I ended up hitting that. Do I regret it? No. I love that belt. Obviously, I don't. I still have it here. It really makes my room pop, of course, with the Andre 87, but it is a rarity. I love this belt, guys. I absolutely do. It's just incredible. It really is. Is it a Belgasm? Yeah. Is it as big as a Belgasm some of my others? No, but it's still really, really awesome. I know where I'm going to rank it. I'm just going to tell you right now, I know where I'm going to rank that motherfucker. I mean, definitely. There is no doubt about it. Can you imagine actually trying to get someone to actually re-leather it with the same strap?
Good luck. Even the best.
Have fun. Have fun. To the poor soul, whoever gets eventually asked that question, God bless you, and we feel absolute all the pity for you in the world.
No doubt. I love the belt, guys, and I'm glad that you agreed to bring it on here, Max. I mean, I absolutely love it. Chris, what do you think of it?
Just out of being a giant mark for the New Day. I mean, I've always loved Kofi Kingston. I love Biggie Langston from way back in the day, and just following Xavier Woods as Austin Creed throughout his entire career in TNA and up to like when he made his debut in WWE. I love that trio so much. Definitely first ballot Hall of Famers, no doubt about it. It is one of the very few gimmick belts that I absolutely adore. So, Rob, I am on your side. That belt is awesome. For some reason, those penny or bronze, whatever you want to call it, for that design, it pops so good with the New Day colors and everything. Just I'll put it up there in the number ones just because of my love and respect for the New Day. So, I mean, I think if we're all in agreement with that, Max, slap that puppy up there, man.
I will put it number one.
Personally, I put high 2, but you guys love it, so majority wins. Put it in number 1. Let's talk about the classic NXT Tag Team Championship. So, this is a dog shit. I'm gonna be honest. The first version is dog shit. I mean, I used to like it because I watched NXT and I have good memories. Ascension, Revival, watching them win American Alpha, watching them win these belts, DIY. It's great memories, but then you actually look at it and you're like, wow, this is a piece of shit.
It's lazy.
It is ugly. Like I remember thinking such a cool belt. I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, this is a great belt. NXT has really cool belts. This is ugly. Like it just does not look good. Like I get what they're doing with like the, I don't know, like the yin and yang, I guess, with each side, but it just doesn't look good. I don't like the shape of the main plate. I don't like the leather cut. I don't like the side plates. I don't like anything about it. I'm putting it probably like a 4 or 5. Not it for me. Rob, what do you think?
The only thing I like about it is that I don't own it. And it's fucking horrible. It's so lazy. And I mean, if I was to talk about WWE, them being lazy with some of these belts, it is absolutely lazy. It is. It looks bare. It looks like something like, I don't know. Like it looks naked. That's exactly it. And I mean, I think I hate, and I don't know, like if somebody like United Belt Brothers were to put out something like this, I mean, like seriously, would I hate that more than I hate mayonnaise on a hamburger? And I'm just trying to think, would I actually? No.
People put mayonnaise on hamburgers?
Oh, fucking
people put mayonnaise on hamburgers?
Yeah.
No. We up here in Canada also have our meat cooked well done. We don't cook it medium or medium rare on a burger.
Okay. Then
I don't know about that, Rob. I don't know.
I don't know. Max, it's lazy. It's lazier than shit. Am I better off going to my toilet and pulling out shit out of my ass and making it a better belt? Probably. Chris, what do you think?
I think, Max, this is me thinking out loud. I think the reason why you liked them to begin with, not only because it was NXT and it was different, but it's just because of what we had in comparison with the penny tags and everything, that probably almost anything looking at it, we're going to go, oh my God, it looks great.
It blurred my vision.
I mean, definitely not their best, but you also have to think also that like, NXT was at the time, while it was gaining popularity, they still considered it under everything else. So they're not going to go all out. I mean, shoot, the classic NXT championship, the first design, I mean, that was paper thin plates as well. And just like, I was like, why is there like 8-7 plates on this thing? What's going on with this? So anywho, as far as design goes, I mean, the upgrade they had with the V2 that we're going to talk about in a bit was levels better. But I mean, I think for the sake of just because NXT is NXT and what they were able to do, they made a crappy design feel actually like really worthwhile watching and worthwhile holding. I'm giving it a 4. Just I refuse to put it at the bottom of the list just because of the names that have held that title. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the Ascension, the Vaudevillains, the Revival, just a bunch of great tags that helped that design. Just I can't put it all the way at the bottom, so I'm gonna put it at a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you probably 4. Rob, I know you want it the bottom of the bottom, but unfortunately, majority wins, so we're putting it at 4.
I put it at 99 if I had the chance.
You don't have the chance, so we're putting it at a 4. So we're gonna go to the V2. Huge improvement. I owned this belt before, and it was one of the first belts that I really wanted, and I finally got it because there's only one review, and this is actually I think my first review I put on YouTube, and I really did love this belt for what it was. The replica's decent. I wish they had it stacked like the actual belt is. I also wish the North American was stacked like the actual belt is, but whatever. But no, I really do like this belt. It's a huge improvement. They did keep a little bit of the yin and yang look if you look at it carefully, and same with the NXT logo. So they did harken back to the original design, but actually made it look nice. It's not much of a fingerprint magnet as much, especially behind the NXT logo with that rail look design that they had on the women's and the men's, of course. I really like it. Interchangeable side plates, don't mind it because the design around the side plates was actually pretty nice, and there were squares. It was different. I really liked it. I remember when I first saw it on my phone. I think it was like coming home from something, and I saw it right before Takeover, and I was just staring at it, just staring for a while. I was like, "Wow, what a belt!" I'm already gonna say this. I'm probably ranking it a high to low one. What do you guys think, Rob?
Yeah, and I mean, I know where you're going with that. It's a vast improvement over that other piece of shit that we were just looking at, no doubt. With respect to the side plates, definitely really, really good. Main plates, absolutely amazing. I'm going to comment, though, on the replica, maybe not on the real build, on the replica. The leather was stiff as fucking hell.
Yeah,
No doubt about it. Stiff as hell. I mean, like cardboard stiff, probably.
larger.
I mean, with respect to the replica, I mean, it's definitely still a solid replica. I've seen massive reviews on it, various reviews. I've seen yours, Max. I've seen Beltmark Bill. He did one. I've seen a few of the other reviews, and it's definitely an improvement. And, I had the belt for a little bit. It actually looked really, really good. It really did.
Yeah.
It was a solid belt. There's no doubt about it.
It looks nice on the wall or like a display, but then you pick it up and it weighs like 3 pounds and it's stiff as hell.
Yeah, it's small. It is. I mean, does it go with my collection? No, but it's still a nice belt, and I am going to be with you. I'm going to rank it pretty high as well. Chris, what do you think?
I share your guys' sentiment, both you gentlemen. Definitely a 2 for me, mainly because again, vast improvement over the first design. That was around the cusp of when NXT was really taking off. That's 2017, 2018, right there. That's when NXT was the brand to watch, no matter what. F Raw and SmackDown at the time. It was all about NXT. And, I hate the fact that NXT never had a takeover in Miami, because I would have bought front row tickets ASAP for a takeover if it was in Miami. But I've been lucky enough to see NXT a few times, and it's always a great, terrific show. It was always a great, terrific show, I should say. RIP. But either way, I do like that they stacked the NXT logo on top right there. I liked that they decided to go with a little more like a granular type of look for the belt, and not being so flat. I felt that added some character to it that was much needed, and just very, very good, vast improvement, definitely so. And I'm glad that they're still using it right now as like the main design for the tag. So definitely number 2 for me.
I agree. I'll go with a 2.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Let's put it at 2, and then we'll rearrange it, of course. Now let's move on to the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. I love these belts. I talked about it. I've been waiting for replica for the longest time, and I haven't owned it. And the reason is I'm waiting for the perfect deal, waiting for someone to sell the re-leathered version. And I know one day I'm going to see that for a good deal, and I'm going to swoop in like a shark and take that deal. But for now, I'm waiting, and I love them. I've loved them ever since they came out. I love the blue 2 globes. I love, I think it's a unicorn and lion. I usually don't like circular designs. I love the circular main plate. The sidebars are cool. Side plates are gorgeous. The gold tip. I love this belt. The leather cut. The tooling on this belt is crazy. And then the almost like grommets or buttons on the sides. I love this belt. It's majestic. It's prestigious. It is everything you want in a tag team championship. It's gold. It's dual plated. It has beautiful color. Wonderful. Rob, what do you think?
Well, I'm not going to get a flipping hard on with this belt. Not like yourself, Max. I'm going to disagree a little bit here. I find it too busy. I definitely do. I find it a little bit too busy. It's got grommets, and I get it with the grommets and everything, but like those red, I don't know, what are they? Red stones
The
or
rubies,
red?
yeah.
Like the rubies. They're all they're out of place. They're not uniform. We talk about uniform, and they're not. They're like here, here, and here, and here.
Yeah.
Why don't I just go and give it to my nephew, and maybe he can paste it on better? I don't know. Could he? I find it busy. And then you talk about leather cut, it's a flippant, like perfect, like circle, just like the 24/7 championship. Maybe not as bad. I don't really care for it. I mean, now, is it worse than the stupid penny tag on the black? No, it's not. It's definitely not worse than that, but it's definitely close. Anyways, Chris, what do you think?
Ooh, well, actually, no, Max, you sound like you have something to say. Please.
No,
I want to hear it first.
I'm just surprised how low this is. This is going to be I'm going to vouch for this. I'm going to argue for this one hard. So, Chris, go ahead.
I'm very split on this because, Max, like you, I like the design. I like what they went for. It looks completely different. While still staying loyal to the whole side plates thing that they're doing nowadays. So they're making all these belts 3-plated. Fine, whatever, that's cool. You want to keep selling those side plates; those are money makers. I get it. I'm definitely fine with it. And I like that they're just able to make it different. They're just able to make things different. They don't make it just a slap same version as like the World Heavyweight Championship, basically.
Yeah.
But the thing that I do not like about it is actually the tooling. I think it looks really off-putting, and I think that it kind of like it's confusing because you look at it and go, oh, I feel like it doesn't match like the rest of the belts. Like you're trying to figure out exactly where the design will meet, and to me, it doesn't hit. For me anyway, it doesn't hit. And the only other gripe that I have with it is I wish that either A, they either made the main plate a little bit bigger, or B, they made the side plates a little smaller. Because even just looking at it, I'm looking at a picture right now for just have a little more of an opinion on it and everything. It just seems like the main plate is just barely bigger than the side plates. And I get it, the tag team championship shouldn't be gigantic by any means. That's fine, but compensate for having a smaller main plate by making the side plates a little bit smaller. Because if you look at it right here, anyway, like when you're looking at that, like the main plate is barely bigger than the side plates. And I mean, again, I love the whole elegant design. It's all royalty of like the UK. UK is a hotspot for pro wrestling, and they're definitely capitalizing on that. But it's just, for me, just those couple things, just the tooling and the either make the main plate bigger or side plate smaller. Other than that, then I give this a solid 3, just because, again, I love the uniqueness of it, especially in the modern era of WWE Championship belts. For it to stand out like that, I appreciate. So I'm giving it a 3.
And
I'm giving it a 1 or 2. Rob,
and he's being generous, and I'd give it a flipping 99. But anyways, for the all sakes of agreement here, I'll go either 3 or 4. So I'll put it at a 3. I'll absolutely not their best work.
Sorry, Max.
All right, we can discuss the arrangement a bit later, though.
Oh, I'll tell you,
So
Max.
that'll be
If that light heavyweight was here,
don't even mention it right now. Now is not a time, okay? No, that's a low blow. All right, let's move on to the women's tag team championship. Start with NXT, and it's basically the exact same design as the NXT men's title. Just worse in my opinion. I mean, the gold logo, it doesn't stand out, kind of blends in. There's a lot of gold. They kind of took away the dual plated aspect, which I really liked, which made it pop, in my opinion, kind of more uniform. It's very, very gold, which I don't know, with all that black and all that gold, I feel like the silver in the men's makes it a little more calm, if that makes sense. This one just seems like a lot. It looks like someone just dipped it in a bit of gold, and it's just too much. It's not as good as the men's, in my opinion. I'd probably put it we'll talk about it later, but the white strap, I get it. They're going for all the women's titles with white straps. Fine, I guess, but it's definitely worse than the men's, in my opinion. Rob, what do you think?
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. And belts on white strap, I know they're supposed to make it pop. This one, it feels like it did. Too much gold, too much black. The white, it feels like, oh yeah, well, it worked before with the other belts. Let's just throw it on the white strap, and here we go. It'll pop. I'm sorry, I think they missed the mark with this one. I absolutely do. And you're absolutely right, Max. I would definitely rank it lower. The men's are way better than this. Not saying that men's wrestling is better than women's wrestling, just the belt is better. I don't like this version. I don't. The white, it's too much. Like they were lazy. Again, laziness.
It feels almost forced. The white doesn't match.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, it's a women's. Oh yeah, let's put it on a white strap.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm basically in agreement with you guys. I think it's lazy, and me being a big advocate for women's wrestling, I love women's wrestling, especially with the way they've just been improving over the last decade. I love watching their matches. They put so much thought into it. They put so much, creativity into it, and I love watching them perform their hearts out for the fans. So to me, it's like I wish they just went with a original design for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship instead of just saying we're going to keep the same design for the men's and just slap on a white strap. Like, to me, that's, again, like you guys said, lazy. I mean, if you're going to go with a different design for the main roster Women's Tag Team Championships, why can you bring that same energy over to NXT, especially when you're trying to make that the more standout show? Like, I loved when they had the original NXT Women's Championship, like on the silver plating and everything with the purple gems in it. I thought that was I thought that was perfect. It looked great. It looked prestigious, and it was, it looked really good around the waist of the wrestlers who held them, and I absolutely loved it. So for me, this was a giant step backwards for NXT and for the company alone in terms of like the tag team divisions, because they're trying to bring up the women's tag team division, and they just said, here you go, here's the tag team championships. Like, and I almost felt like it came out of nowhere too, because I didn't recall ever hearing much of a rumor of them bringing up a women's tag team championship belt to NXT. Then all of a sudden, I don't know where I see on Instagram, introducing the women's tag team championship here on NXT. What?
Yeah, it's so weird. They could barely manage the women's tag team championships on the main roster, that being on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and then you're adding another one. Like,
no, it's lazy.
I don't know. I'm ranking it at a 4, to be honest. What do you guys think?
I'll put it at a 4.
And I'll put it at a 4 too. I was going to put it at a 5, but you know what?
All right, let's talk about the women's tag team championship. Now, this one's better, I think. I used to like it kind of, but now the more I look at it, it's I'm just kind of indifferent. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's just, it is what it is. It's just, there's no prestige behind prestigious. It's not prestigious at all. Like, it's flip flopping from random tag teams. They're not actual tag teams. Like, I feel like the only tag team that there was the Iconics, and they're gone. They're not even wrestling anymore. They're not actual tag teams. They're just two women who aren't doing anything, and they're just put together. Like, if you're doing that, just get a mid-card title for the women's division. You have plenty of women who can compete for a mid-card title. Like what AEW is doing with the TBS Women's Championship, I think that's great. I mean, I feel like WWE can definitely do that, have a women's mid-card champion, and that would do a lot more than the random mashup of teams. I think it just, I don't know, it just seems forced. But the design, again, indifferent. Don't have much to say about it. Rob, what do you think?
Okay, so I'll talk about a couple things. With respect to the design of the belt, I think it's a really decent design. I do have one. The side plates, I have Carmella's side plates on mine. They actually make the belt pop really, really well. They absolutely do. That black and gold on the Carmella side plates makes the whole belt pop. With respect to the strap, I think that WWE Shop really, really did well on the strap. Absolutely really nice and flexible, not stiff as hell. The backing is really, really nice on it. It's an absolutely great belt. It really, really is. Definitely a really cool design on that main plate. Really nice. I've seen some really, really good reviews with it. Now, if I talk about women's tag team, though, I think it's a fucking disgrace what they're doing with it. I really do not like it at all. It's exactly like you said, Max. They're putting two random female wrestlers together who haven't done shit at all, or who are not doing anything, and they're like, here you go. It's just like Zelina and Carmella. What? They broke up and then all of a sudden they're back together? Like, we have no idea why? Like, I think tag team wrestling, the women's division it's awesome. Okay, don't get me wrong. But the tag team division of women's wrestling is going down the flipping shitter, that they don't have enough people doing the tag team, like competing for the tag team. They had to get these tag teams ready for the WrestleMania, and they did that within a few weeks, and we had no idea who they were even going to be facing. I like that Sasha and Naomi are the tag champs. I do. But, I mean, with respect to some of these women, though, I feel bad for them. I mean, Vince McMahon, retire, you motherfucker. Retire and let Triple H take it over. Seriously. This is a flippin' travesty with respect to it. The belt, I like the belt, though. I really got to hand it to you. I like the belt. Chris, what do you think?
I like the belt a lot. And like I was saying earlier, when we were talking about the NXT women's tags, to me, it's like, I love uniqueness, especially nowadays when, all we have are these 3-plated belts. Give me new stuff. When they dropped this, I was like, great. That looks awesome. I like it. It fits for a modern day, tag team championship for the women division. And it popped great. I loved like the whole main plate design on it. I love how it looks. I just wish they treated it with better respect for what it deserves. I mean, they started off great and then it just went really quick. And that to me was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, you guys have, so much potential, and you guys are absolutely just wasting it. And, just overall, but sticking on the belt itself, I've seen the WWE Shop replica of it when I was over in Dallas last month now. When I was there last month, and it looks tremendous. That's one of the belts that a lot of people are saying. Get this belt if you're trying to get the best quality belts that Shop offers right now. One of them is the women's tag team championships, and it's true. It looks really awesome. The plates are stacked perfectly. It looks very vibrant. The white strap, it's clean, and just overall, it's to me, it's almost a knockout of the park. I love it a lot. To me, I'm putting that up in the number one, but because of the fact that it was a great addition for adding that seriousness to the women's division. Like, they desperately needed something to kind of push that little bit of extra oomph in there. And like I said, I'm a big supporter of women's wrestling. So, the fact they added it, that's awesome. It's a first timer thing ever. I love it. I'm ranking it up there. I'll put, at minimum, I'll put it a 2. But definitely in the 1 and 2 for me, just because of design. It looks awesome. It's very unique, and to what it what it meant for women's wrestling. And Rob, I share your sentiment, and I wish they treated it better.
Yeah, no, and you know what, Chris, you make some really, really solid points with respect to it. It went from Sasha and Bailey winning that at Elimination Chamber, being the first tag team, and I have that plaque. I mean, I had to have that plaque. I mean, it's a great plaque. Now, if I talk about belt one more time, and I am going to rank it really, really high, but the stitched on snap locks, they didn't have the stitched on snap locks there, and then they decided to go with silver snaps on this.
Pretty cool.
And the gold tip is really, really nice on it. The backing is really cool. It's nice and clean, flexible, great quality belt. And I'm hoping that some people are watching this, but if you are on the fence about this belt, it is a solid belt. It is on my wall. Side plates fit really, really well for it. The points that you put across, Chris, make me actually rank it higher, and I would probably rank it in the number 1 to number 2 spot as well, just because you're right. They added the belt, and they added more to women's wrestling than they had. That's exactly it. But we can all agree that they're treating the women's tag division like absolute dog shit. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Chris what he's saying. It added a lot to the women's division. It's not treated well, but design-wise, I was going to put it at 3-4, to be honest. But if you guys are going with the 1-2, I can agree with the low 2.
I'll go with the 2.
Okay, let's move to 2 then.
All right, now is the hard part. So we're going to start from 5 all the way to 1 and ranking them in between. So 5 is pretty easy.
Yeah,
easy. All right,
easy. Yep.
Let's move on to 4 though. What do you guys think is the worst one in 4? My vote is the NXT, and then NXT women. Sorry, from best would be the classic, then NXT women's, then NXT. What do you guys think, Rob?
Absolutely, 100% agree with you. There was no question about that. That V1 belongs in the dog shitter. That is going to be definitely the worst. I mean, Chris, I don't know.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm there with you guys. And
Oh.
the thing is, at least though, the NXT women's tag has some good stacks and some good character to it in comparison to the V1 NXT tag team championships. But I mean, definitely on the top of that list for me is the Attitude Era tags.
All right. Now's my time to plead my case. Now, I understand you guys put my beloved belts on the number 3, but come on, it's better than the Penny. It's better than the Raw and SmackDown tag. Let's be honest.
Make a case for it. Make a case for it.
I'd love to hear it.
It is unique. It's way more prestigious. It's gold. We were talking about how important a belt being the top of your division being gold. It matches NXT UK. Those silver tags don't scream champion. They scream second place. They literally look like a medal. I can cut off the strap and put it on a ribbon to medal. And it just matches the UK brand. The NXT UK Championship, the NXT UK Women's Championship, and the NXT, they just match perfectly. Those silver tags don't match. They're kind of out of the place. They're just not it. And it should look more prestigious. What do you guys think?
Would you rank it? Would you rank the Bulldog tag higher than the UK?
Personally, yeah, but I'm okay with it being below the Bulldog tag.
Chris, what do you think?
I mean, Max, you said the same thing that I did when I was talking about my opinion on the UK tags. It's different. It's unique. I like that a lot, considering the belts nowadays. I like it a lot. Do I rank it higher than the silver tags? Probably yes, but because of its uniqueness. So if you're asking me to re-rank that number 3, I'll put the NXT UK tags in the front row of it. I'll put it in the front row there, just because it's different, and because it does look prestige.
The Bulldog?
I say so, yes. Because of design alone. And because again, when we get to that number 2 spot, that's gonna be when it's really tough, because those tags to me, the class tags, those to me scream extreme prestige. And the Bulldog tags just
right.
it's
on,
great,
Rob.
but if we're going off aesthetic alone, I'm putting UK tags in front.
Okay.
Water up. You know you
Okay.
wanna.
Go front.
All right, perfect. You want to keep the Bulldogs in front of the current tags?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Right.
I say so.
Nice. I'm okay with that. I'm content with that. Now let's get to the number 2 spot. Now, looking at it now, the history behind it, I'm probably ranking the gold over the dual plated. Like usually I go dual plated the whole way, but just the dual plated parts look a little empty compared to the all gold. The all gold just kind of blends in. So I'm personally ranking the gold higher than dual plated. What do you guys think though?
And you see, I'm ranking the dual plated higher than the gold because
Okay.
I absolutely love that dual plated just because Fig Zinc and all the way around it. I absolutely love it.
Chris,
I know.
what do you say?
I know where you're heading.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think? Dual plated or gold?
Out of my sheer urge to scream, "Ooh, what a rush!" I'm gonna put the duels in front of the gold.
Perfect. All right, I'm okay with that. I'm content with that.
Yeah.
All right, what are we thinking? Are we thinking the NXT is better than that though, than the classic tags?
I don't.
No way.
No,
I
okay.
don't.
No way.
Now,
don't
do you
know.
think the women's better than the NXT? Personally, I don't at all.
I-
What do
I
you
don't
guys
know.
think?
And I think the women's tag deserves a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like it needs to go in front of the men's NXT tag, just because this is about women's wrestling here, and we're talking about it. Okay, we're talking about it. The belt, the shape of that main plate and the shape of that belt is unique. It's you're talking about the NXT UK tags, about it being unique, Max. I'm trying to talk about the women's tag being just as unique. It absolutely is.
Yeah, take that.
I think that it deserves to knock off the NXT men's tag, and the NXT men's tag should be the last in that. But that's just how I feel. Chris, what do you think?
I completely 100% agree. Because see, here's the thing, Max. Here's the thing. The version 2 of the NXT tags, it didn't elevate the tag team division per se, because they were already really high.
Yeah.
The version 1s were very indicative of that time.
For sure.
Where the tag team division was at its highest already right there. The redesign was just, it was an extra,
The cherry on top.
it's like, hey, it looks better. It looks better. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, it's unique. It was revolutionary, and it added that much more respect to the women's division. And it kind of helps solidify, that the women's division is its own division, and it's not just there for us to look at and go, oh yeah, that's cute. No, it's there, and we're going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And for that sentiment alone, I put that above the NXT titles.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. All right, you won me over. Now let's go to number 1. I'm already rooting for the Raw to be number 1, but let's see what you guys think. I know majority wins, so I think I know where this is going.
I mean, for me, I'm a SmackDown fan. I absolutely am, to commemorate the SmackDown 6. Now, I get it where you're coming from. If we talk about design, it's got a lot of similarities to some of the other belts, but where it came from is a huge thing. I would put the blue SmackDown. Now, not saying the red is bad. The blue SmackDown would just inch over. The New Day tag can be last. I'm still ranking it at 1, okay? But I think the blue SmackDown tag, just where it came from with that tournament and everything, I think that's where it belongs. Chris, what do you think?
100% agree with you, man. Just because of my own personal love for it. Max, I'm sorry. I see the look in your eyes, man, and just
it hurts my soul. But I get where you guys are coming from, though. Yeah, if I had the memories attached to that belt, I'd probably be saying the same things. But just aesthetically, that Raw is just gorgeous. But
it's just, it's just
second place is still pretty good.
It's just barely beating the Raw tags. It's barely beating the World Tag Team Championships, barely beating it. But it's only because of the memories that obviously myself and Rob share for the SmackDown brand during that time. I mean, just you had the best people holding it, and let's not even forget one of the most underrated tag teams to ever be a tag team and to ever hold that championship. Brian Kendrick and Paul London. Come on.
It was the best wrestling that there was.
Those two were arguably in the top 5 tag teams of that era.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I will put them up there because they brought the energy, and when they had the tag team championships, it looked fantastic. And I also loved it when Eminem had the World Tag Team Championships. Or, I'm sorry, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I keep saying World because I'm just so used to saying it by now. But the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, I remember when Eminem came about, Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, who was then later known as John Morrison. But just wow, man, just the names that have held that design are just.
I agree.
Chef's kiss. So for me, absolute number one, and I'm probably going to order that one on Shop Now because we've had this conversation.
Wow, perfect. Well,
I'll watch your video.
That is the finalized rankings. At number one as the best WWE/WWF Tag Team Championship, we have the Ruthless Aggression SmackDown Tag, and at the bottom of the list, with the penny tags, of course. Now, that does bring us to the end of the episode, but before we go, we should talk about next episode.
Yeah.
Next episode, we're actually going to continue the rankings, because this is pretty fun. We did the world title, we did the tag titles. We got to do the mid-card title, so that includes the Intercontinental, the United States. Of course, we're including WCW, the United States, the Cruiserweight, every Cruiserweight title, 24/7. NXT North America.
Can that be considered a mid-card title?
I don't know what else. I mean, is it...
That's like ranking. I mean, because that's honestly
man.
like comparing. That's honestly like saying that like the light heavyweight or
The light heavyweight's going to be in that. Unfortunately, in that episode too.
I mean, just to me, like if you're gonna talk about mid card, that's exclusively to the secondary championships, the United States, the Intercontinentals. The cruiserweights are in its own thing to me, honestly, because they don't go along with a mid card or a main title.
Sure.
But I mean, just. You're gonna throw in the 24/7 championship in there, man.
We gotta trash that belt. So that'll be very fun. But before we go, Chris, do you want to shout out your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I want to shout out your guys' stuff. I want to shout out Over the Shoulder podcast. I mean, like this is a lot of fun to be on. I've always watched you guys' stuff, and I know Max, I've been trying to plan this for a couple months now, man. Just life. I mean, working as a producer is extremely hectic. I hardly have any free time. Now we're starting to get into the slow time of things. So now I had the time to be able to get to you guys. And I've been so excited for this. And I'm actually a little jealous that now you guys are doing the mid cards after this, because I would love to be on the mid card ones too, but for another day. But either way, guys, if you are watching, I'm going to get right into the camera for this one. Guys, if you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Max's YouTube channel so you can continue watching on with Over the Shoulder podcast. Join in the belt groups on Facebook, most specifically Belt Addicts Anonymous. It's probably the best band of belt brothers with the absolute least amount of drama as possible. Yeah. And I absolutely endorse this show. I endorse you guys in its entirety. And I want to say thank you again, gentlemen, for having me on. This has been an absolute blast. And I've had a great time being able to nerd out about belts and kind of give, it's more so about sharing our love for why these belts mean so much to us. Again, I keep saying that every belt that I have has memories for me. I got the Raw Tag Team Championships originally in a trade, and I got it before I changed it for a blue strap. And the reason why I got the Raw Tag originally was because I went to Mania 33 when the Hardys came back, and I remember that place was erupting. I mean, even though it was an outdoor stadium and there was no roof over it, it just went deafening in that stadium, and that's why I got it. I went there with my good buddy James, who I'm going to plug really quick just because his channel is consistently growing. He does movie reviews and like movie critiques and everything. He's awesome. His name is on the channel. It's Real James. So Real is REEL, James JAMES. Real James. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel if you're a big fan of movies and cinema. He'll give you the best reviews and breakdowns possible. He's an awesome dude. Love you, brother. So we went to Mania 33 and we saw the Hardys come back. I had to get the Raw Tag Team Championship as to commemorate that. But then, obviously, blue is my favorite color, SmackDown guy, so I changed it for a blue strap. But just regardless, gentlemen, it's just been an absolute honor, I guess, for the part of plugging my own channel in, guys. If you are watching, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's just simply Chris Santiago. If you need help looking for it, just type in the search bar, Chris Santiago Belts. I'll be the first thing that pops up. You'll see my profile icon, which was a artwork done by Migs Laxon, who's also a belt reviewer. Freaking love that dude. He did a great art for me, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love you so much, dude. So just subscribe to the channel. We hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so humbled to say that. So that's amazing. The next goal is gonna be 1,500. Kind of keep it simple. Chris Van Vliet says a quote. He's a good brother of mine. I love Chris Van Vliet. If you watch his interviews as well, they're always fantastic. But Chris Van Vliet did say a quote on time that stuck with me for years: vague goals get vague results. So as long as you keep it specific, you'll get your specific results. So 1500 is going to be the next milestone we're looking for the channel, and just hopefully I can keep entertaining you guys for as long as I can keep on doing this. So again, gentlemen, it's been a incredible honor. Thank you so much for having me on. Max, Rob, you guys are stand-up gentlemen. Love you guys and love the community. So just I can't say enough. Thank you.
Yeah, and we appreciate it as well, taking the time out of your hectic schedule to definitely join us this evening on this podcast. Before we do what we do to end this off, I'm going to shout out a couple more people. Of course, Belt Addicts Anonymous, our main Facebook page, Over the Shoulder Podcast Facebook page, Pounding the Meat Podcast Facebook page.
Yes, Vinny. Yes, shout out to Vinny.
Page, Pounding the Meat, just all got inducted into the Belt Addicts Anonymous Hall of Fame, as well as the Celebrity Wing. They will be inducted. Shout out to all of you guys. You guys are amazing. Kale Fan 93, KC, absolutely amazing guy. Snaps and Straps, Brandon Douglas, you're doing wonders for the world, bro. Keep it up. You're my brother from another mother. All of you guys, Belt Addicts Anonymous, our admin team. Love having you guys. Max and I are admins on Belt Addicts Anonymous. We love that page and everything about it. So we definitely want to shout out to there. And of course, and Chris said it, Chris Santiago, go check out his YouTube channel. Definitely great belt reviewer, great stand-up guy. Love having you on here. So we have said what we are going to do next week, or in a couple weeks, I should say. But how we end this podcast, and it's a little tip, is just we take a belt and put it over our shoulder here. So hopefully you guys do have one here.
Oh yeah,
Max, are you still going to throw the other tag team over? Or
oh
you got
no,
something
no,
different?
no, no! I got something special for this one.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me get mine because I'm going to plug it in really quick. So let me grab mine
For
real quick.
Sure.
Listen, guys. I'm gonna hype this up while he's gone getting his belt. I have been waiting to be able to say this for so long. I finally have a fake zinc belt in my collection. I mean, Belt Addicts Anonymous mostly fake zinc, and Rob, of course, his whole wall mostly fake zinc. And I finally have a fake zinc belt, and I'm super excited. It is, of course, the fake zinc big logo version 2, the best version, domed side plates, stacked. And this is so excited to get this. So yeah, been waiting to do this for a long time.
And welcome to the Fig Zinc Club, Max. It
feels good. Feels really good.
It's Mr. Fig Zinc. I mean, I've been told that I am that.
It is your middle name.
It is my middle name. I absolutely love it. Chris, what do you have?
Rob Figs Staniloff. Love it. Max, you ready for this?
I am ready.
Oh, the V3. The V3.
Nice.
And the reason why I'm bringing this out, I have a big story with this belt in particular, but I just filmed literally yesterday. I filmed a new video of me installing the Fandu sidebars on this belt. I have it re-leathered by a Mr. If I can get on the screen right there, by Mr. Alvin Paul of Figure 4 Leather.
He's one of the best.
Got that done by him. The only thing I'm missing is getting this thing restoned, and it's my absolute perfect belt. This belt has too much meaning to me in particular, not only because The Rock is my idol forever, and he's one that debuted it, but just 2013 was a big year of change for me as a person. I was in my sophomore year of college and just going through so many changes, and I don't know why this belt is representative of that to me. And it's my most near and dear title I have in my collection. So when you brought out yours, Max, I was like, oh man, here we go. Here we go. But I will say yours is definitely the better of the quality because of just, I don't know what shifted in their minds. You're like, oh, V2 is gonna be the best one. Nope, psych, never mind. We're gonna have that.
Gotta flex one more time. The thick sidebar stock. The side plates.
I have mine different. So I have AJ Styles side plates on this. It doesn't match because it's not the title that he won, but AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time. So had to get his side plates on the belts that my favorite person ever debuted.
Beautiful. Rob.
Well,
What do you
I,
have
I
over your
feel
shoulder?
I feel kind of out of place with you guys, but I
I
mean,
don't know, man. You had that whole backdrop. What are you talking about? You
I
have the
do.
Andre right above your head.
I do, but the one that I've got over my shoulder is it's not what Max thinks. It's not that. I brought that out last week. This is the WWF
The European.
Championship 2001 Big Zinc. It's an incredible belt, and I mean a
Gonna
rarity.
be on next episode
A
too.
rarity.
Wow.
And look, like the shine. Look at the shine. It's just like you could see the flipping reflection. It's absolutely amazing. And I love this belt. I absolutely do. I love where it came from. I mean, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, D'Lo Brown. I mean, I can keep naming them and naming them and naming them, but I absolutely love this belt. And Max knows that. I mean, I had to have this belt. I mean, I've got the whole 2001 line. This is a great belt. So,
Yeah,
but
that's a belt I have on my wish list from shop. I never really was a big fan of the figs, too much and everything, especially because they came on like the really small plates and everything. That to me was always a deal breaker.
Mhm.
But that's definitely like that European Championship. It's always been one of my top faves, and I'm getting that eventually sometime down the road. I might get that from Brian Jordan. He and I were talking about him selling me his that he just got off a trade. So let's see what happens with that. And so if I do, you guys will see it in an unboxing video.
Beautiful.
I'll be watching that, no doubt. So, but Max, a great episode, a great way to end it off. Do we want to wrap this up with a bow?
I do. Now, right before, let me plug one thing. If you guys want to see a full review of this, it is out on my channel right now. Detailed review comparing the V1, 2, and 3. I don't have it with me, but I talk about the differences. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next episode when we rank the WWE mid-card titles.